Hey, what's up guys? John here. 2 days ago, Joe Biden says that banks are in pretty good shape, right? Then 18 hours ago, he says that it's not over yet. The banking stress is not over yet. Well, obviously, Joe, but there's some big problems coming to this economy that nobody else is talking about. I'm gonna lay it all out for you in this video so you can see what is likely gonna happen next. You can see the second domino and the third domino and the fourth domino and position yourself, because as these dominoes start to fall, you're gonna wanna make sure you're prepared. So please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. This is the facts, removing emotion, looking at finance without the emotion, without my bias, just looking at things clearly so we can position ourselves. Hit the like button. If you like the content, if you don't like the content, hit it anyway. Hit the like button because this is pretty crazy. Like we're living in some pretty incredible times to get to witness this. Up in 2018, 2019. The former few decades, it was exciting, it was cool, but nowadays every single month gets more insane than the month prior. And I have a feeling the next few years are going to get so crazy, and I think America as a whole is going to turn third world-ish. Let's just put it that way. And here's why. And also today's video is sponsored by GreatCreditFast.com. GreatCreditFast.com. It's my credit repair company. We help people fix their credit to position themselves to invest. So if you're looking to invest in distressed real estate, or maybe you want to do a balance transfer, get out of high interest credit card debt, or you simply just want to fix your credit because there's going to be opportunities to advance in the next year or two, do it now at GreatCreditFast.com. We'd love to be a part of that solution. Call us at 561-430-5900. That's 561-430-5900. Take a look at this. So, they're saying that the crisis is not over yet. Well, that's obvious. That's obvious. They had 4 out of 5 banks collapse. The fifth one was going to collapse before the bailout. That was before they increased interest rates again. They've increased interest rates 10 times in the last 12 months. 10 times in the last 12 months. As that is happening, you have to first look at the first domino, which is going to be these banks. You look at where the banks actually stand. Ken Griffin came out. He made $2 million an hour, $4.2 billion in income in 2022, saying that consumers have $1 trillion. They're spending about $100 billion a month, and they're on track to exhaust their savings in a matter of months. So as that is all happening, and interest rates are rising, they're going in the back room and they're put more money in. $200 trillion. They're saying they'll backstop banks $200 trillion, put $300 billion to do these bailouts. They say taxpayers aren't going to pay for it, but where are they getting the money? Who's paying for it, right? You don't just create money out of thin air without there being a consequence for this. But what's fascinating here is a lot of people, they'll look at the interest rate situation and be like, you know what? It's okay. I'm not investing in real estate right now. It doesn't really matter. But what people are not paying attention to is that nearly everyone has credit card debt, nearly everyone. And this article came out 2022 and says, in the coming months, even more people may come to turn to their credit cards as increasing prices of necessities like groceries and gas upend their budgets. Consumer Watchdog Agency wrote in a blog post on Friday, but the borrowing comes at a cost. With today's interest rates, a person with a $5,000 balance could pay an extra $1,000 in interest over the course of a year. $1,000 in interest. Right now, there's so many different credit card companies offering 0% balance transfer offers to transfer out of that high interest credit card at 0%. So you're paying $80 a month with a high interest card. But what's insane is that number was, that was before 5 or 6 or 7 interest rate hikes, because this is August 2022. So what is that going to do to everyday consumers? It's going to force them to put everything on a credit card if they're not planning in advance. And as that is beginning to happen, they're pushing this energy thing. Everyone knows about this. This going green thing. They're trying to get the general public to hate oil companies and hate fossil fuels. That's what they want to do. They want everyone to hate them. And so they're saying he signs a profit bill, right? Well, nobody's profiting in California if you're doing business or you're operating a property under Gavin Newsom and his draconian policies. But it's not just California. It's a lot of other places. All over the country, look at gas prices. Everything is going up. You look at just the data just with basic utility bills. 20 million Americans behind on utility bills. But people don't realize this all trickles down to the credit card and all impacts banks and all impacts everyday consumers. Because what do people do? They put the utility bill on a credit card, and the utility bill goes to the roof. They put gas, they put groceries, they put everything that they buy gets shipped and distributed on a truck. And if it costs more, then obviously consumers are going to be putting that on a credit card, and then the interest on that credit card is only going to be going up. And as that is happening, and Ken Griffin even said that the banks they're getting lighter and lighter and lighter in deposits. And as that is happening, you look at commercial real estate, you look at residential real estate, you look at these auto loans that these banks are holding, 1.6 trillion in these auto loans. Most of these loans are bad loans. I mean, they're paying people are buying these cars 40% over sticker price, putting 5% down, 10% down. Okay, so the bank is lending money at 130% of the price of the vehicle. What are people going to start doing when things start to hit the fan? They're going to start really just letting go of their cars, going full delinquency on credit cards, on bills, because what else are they going to do, right? And as that is happening, they're going to devalue the dollar more and more and more. They're just going to keep printing it, making things even harder. And so this article came out today, Forbes. Could the U.S. dollar collapse, right? And they say that this is generally a result of political or economic upheaval, inflation, or war. We're basically talking about all three of these right now in America. So just all we need is one of these things to happen. But this isn't taking into consideration BRICS. You start to look at, they're holding 2/3 of the world's population. They're doing oil deals in other currencies. They're doing a lot of trade and exchange. They're trying to get out and de-dollarize right now. So as this is happening, something fascinating is this little moving piece is coming along right now. People are looking at ChatGPT, people have their opinions, they like it, they don't like it. This is only just the tip of the iceberg. In the next year, 2 years, 3 years, there's only going to be more and more and more innovations and automations that are going to be coming into different businesses and business models as business owners try to cut back on their expenses to make ends meet. For example, I went out today, I got some poke. I walked into this poke shop, there's 10 employees working there. 10 employees, and it's just me and one other person. How are they making that? Even if they're paying on $15 an hour, they're paying $150 an hour plus the utility bills, plus the lease, plus the fish, which goes bad quickly. I mean, small businesses, they're going to have to move into automation to make things work. Ghost kitchens, they're going to start, this is what's going to happen, right? And so in this article, they're talking about AI and how this whole thing is likely going to play out, but they go on to say that it could impact 300 million jobs, and in the U.S., the occupations which are exposed must have a significant but partial share of the workload, 25 to 50% that can be replaced. 25 to 50%. This is even before the Tesla bots and all that stuff. People think, it might be 20 years from now. I personally think a lot of things are going to come in the next few years. But even if you remove that, what we're going to start to see is a lot of work just getting shifted overseas, looking to save money. And as that begins to happen, they're talking 300 million jobs, by the way. 300 million jobs is what they're saying. We look at how this plays out. In 1929 Great Depression, the unemployment rate was 25%. They're saying 25% of jobs, right? So not factoring in our current employment rate, if we were looking at the real data, not the ones that they're giving us, the real numbers, plus this 25%, we would have a situation far worse than the 1929 Great Depression. But there's so many different things that people aren't talking about, such as the $16.9 trillion in consumer debt held on adjustable rates, and all of the commercial loans that are starting to go in full-fledged delinquency. I mean, you're looking at companies like Blackstone came out. Their portfolio is their loan is 47% in excess of the value of the property. So if it's hypothetically $1 million property, they owe $1,470,000 on it, just for that example. But you start to look at all these companies, they're defaulting on commercial real estate. They're starting to default. The dominoes are starting to fall. And so what I think is likely going to happen is I think the CBDC is going to be coming. I think that's going to be coming probably the end of this year or next year. And they're going to put this out as a solution to combat inequality, to make things fair and honest and just. And this is what people need. They deserve the 4-day work week. They deserve to sit home, watch Netflix and gossip on social media. This is what they deserve. And we're starting to see it. I mean, the last 6 days, like March 13th, you can get a $1,000 payment first statewide. Oregon opens up door to universal basic income, UBI payments, who's eligible for $800 a month. As that happens, it's very clear what we are going to see happen. they're likely going to offer this solution to those that need it first. And so if you need it first and you need something from the government, then essentially you become an employee, or you work, or you're taken care of by the government. So in some capacity, they can determine what and how you should live your life. But if you have, let's say, a business where, let's say, for example, you're debt-free or you are a little bit more mobile, you're going to have more options. And what I think is very likely going to happen is I think people are going to be pushed into financial hardship, whether it be through the devaluation of the US dollar, hyperinflation, bank defaults. We start to see a variety of different situations unfold. It's going to really push people that have the financial wherewithal to be able to live a better life. Point blank. And the middle class is basically getting wiped out right now. The middle class and the lower income levels. The job of the smart and savvy investor, smart and savvy American, is to find out how to get yourself to a safe level in the next year to 2 years to 3 years. The best way is, first step, is to make sure you're not paying Visa or any of these other credit card companies 30% interest on a credit card to borrow money, because nobody's getting rich besides them. Getting debt-free, finding a high income skill or a way to make a lot of money, positioning yourself, because change is coming. There's no doubt about it. Change is coming, massive change is coming. I do believe this banking crisis is just the first domino. And in the course of a couple of years, this UBI situation that a lot of people think, it's just, certain cities, certain locations, it's going to be nationwide. I mean, they're rolling out FedNow in the next 2 months. Well, for what, right? For what? Because they're getting ready for a CBDC. So if you want to be a part of it, okay. But if you don't, the next couple of years is going to be very, very important. I believe the next couple of years will be the most important ever in our lifetime to make generational wealth. Because what is likely going to happen as this wealth is, as I've always said, wealth is never lost, it's just transferred. The wealth is going to get transferred to the top. It's going to get transferred to the top. It's going to be the big banks, it's going to be the big private equity firms, it's going to be the smart and savvy investors. That is who's going to benefit. It's not going to be the middle class. Middle class never benefits during wealth transfer. It's always the top. So learn, study, watch all this information, because huge things are happening right before our eyes right now. What do you think? Drop below, hit the like button, subscribe here, and subscribe also to my second channel. I have a new studio coming April 1st. It will be done. Really excited about that. I'm going to have guests coming live. So it's going to be cool. Be sure to subscribe over there. If you want to fix your credit, get out of high interest credit card debt, you want to position yourself to invest in distressed opportunities, you're going to need exceptional credit. We would love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. Give us a call at 561-430-5900 and add me on Instagram up in the banner. Catch you guys in the next video.